modelled there. Fine. We decided not to do what most people are doing. As bad as you think it might be. And I've been wondering for ages what this little thing's for, couldn't figure it out. With potential for
chicken stick or steak the vampire.
So that's the second job that we wanted to get done, which is fitting a maxxfan. We've also got a skymax to go in the back, but for now I wanted to get the maxxfan fitted. And there's plenty of stuff online about this, so I don't want to waffle on too much, but the things that I learned along the way, which are questions that you might ask as well. One of those questions being, what's the point of the timber frame? In the manual that comes with it, it says build a timber frame only if necessary to pack out the thickness of the roof. It doesn't mention anything about putting it in there for any other reason. Assuming that they're expecting you to just screw it straight into the roof and then leave the screws just sticking through the tin roof. I think it's probably a better idea to put the timber there for it to give the screws an extra something to bite into. It seems a bit more professional, so I've put timber around there for it to give the screws something to bite into. The second question, I'll just close this door. Second question is, what do we cut the roof with? I went with a jigsaw, mainly because I didn't want to shower sparks everywhere. And you can control the level of swarf a lot more. So I used a fine steel blade, which beautifully modelled there. A fine steel blade, which went through it like a hot knife through butter, I've got to say. And then, fortunately for me, on my roof I had a raised portion, you can see just running along there. So I had a portion there where the roof was flat, and it allowed me to fit the fan without any fitting kit. I bought the fitting kit and then didn't need it. But I am going to put a fitting kit on the back where we've got quite a lot of fluting in the roof, and the fitting kit will just take up all that room without having to use loads of packing, but more on that later. So after cutting the hole and putting the top piece in on a bed of sealer, I didn't want to screw it straight down on wet sealer, so I left it overnight just on the sealer with a piece of timber across the top and a light weight on it, which was about 1 kilo, just to help it settle down and start to cure. And then I put the screws through the roof into the timber afterwards. My feelings being that the thicker the sealant, or the less that I squeezed out by clamping it down too tight, I figured would probably be better, because my roof wasn't dead straight. People have been walking on the roof and it was a little bit sort of buckled, so I figured that I would leave a nice thickness of sealer between the fan and the roof, and we'll see how that turns out in the future. But it looks like it's gone down nicely. All in all, not a bad job really. Made much easier by the fact that the roof was designed to take it straight away. So next job will be the skymax. So it's a beautiful day here in the Shire. It's been a wet one overnight. Join me as I do my first check to find out whether my maxxfan is rain tight. No drips there by the look of it. No drips. Oh good. Well, that's the start. No rainwater coming in. Cool. Now I'm gonna connect it up and see what it's like working. So yeah, controls are really easy to use. This button here for in and out. So it just stops, then reverses its direction. Drawing air out of the vehicle. Fan speed there. Auto probably does exactly what it says. There's the lift. And this one here for your temperature. Oh, really impressed so far. Pleasantly relieved. So all I've got to do now is fit that up there. Just been and picked up our new floor. So today I'm fitting the skymax skylight, which is going to go in here. But after a quick measure up, I can see it's going to come really close to this roofing spar. So gonna have to do some thinking. So we made our wooden template. We've put a dust sheet underneath. We've marked our roof. And this is always the bit I hate. It's making those first cuts. Let's see what happens. We have a hole. We decided not to do what most people are doing and trying to fill these voids here in the roof with sealant. We've bought an adapter plate which goes onto the roof and gives us a nice flat surface to work to. To me, I think that's a no-brainer. It just makes life a lot easier. We've got a nice seal here and we've got a decent seal against here without too much thickness of sealer. It dries out and I think it's just potential for leaks. So happy with that. We've just got to get it all clamped up. So there it is. Skymax and skylight done. I didn't use the thickest of timber to mount it to the roof, which meant that I had to cut a little piece of it away. It does say in the paperwork that you may need to trim down depending on what width you use. So had to do that. just cut that edge away. But that's it. It's not as bad as you think it might be. It gives him a nice bit of light. It's a beautiful bit of Cornish sky through our new skylight. The other thing I didn't realise is that you get a lot of air moving through here. The air comes underneath the perspex and then down through here, through there. So you get quite a lot of air moving through here, which I was surprised at. Hopefully it's designed that way on purpose and we're not going to wake up freezing our nuts off. So we've just discovered that those little vents pop out of there, and you've got these blanks which came in the bag, and I've been wondering for ages what those little things were for, couldn't figure it out.
But I can.
Brainbox figured it out. So they just pop in there like that.
Probably a bit better than that.
Which way round do they go?
They go around the other way.
That way? This is the next thing for me to figure out. Either or, it probably looks neater on the inside, doesn't it? Anyway, you get the drift. Those blank pieces go there to keep the drafts out, so you get the choice. So pretty good day today. We have got a skylight and we have started racking our floor. They are all glued in place at the minute. I'm going to leave them overnight and then I'll be putting the floor in. Good day. So that's the floor done. Now we're just going to cut out and insulate the in-betweens. So we decided that instead of going for the Celotex method, we were going to go for the, what do they call it, closed cell foam method. And we found an easier way of doing it as well. Just cut off the width you want and then just divide it in. It's quite a quick job. So we've put closed cell sticky pads into the floor. The reason for that being that if we put Celotex in there, it would be sat, the Celotex would be sat on top of all of these ridges, and there'd be tiny little voids everywhere of about whatever that is, 10 mil underneath the Celotex, which I don't think the Celotex would eventually completely cover. So I think we just have a load of voids in the van, and I think we'd end up with potential for condensation build-up, bacteria, moisture, mold, that sort of stuff. So we're doing it with this, and then once we put this down, we may even go ultra crazy and put in some little pockets of wool in there as well.
Yeah, that would be a tiny bit warmer.
So that's what we're doing, and it all looks very sci-fi. It's very Doctor Who, but the difference when you feel the floor,
It's lovely and warm.
after you put a hand on there and a hand on there, the difference is incredible. This stuff is the insulating properties of this, absolutely amazing. So there we go, that's what we're doing. Feel free to criticize us. Right, that's that lot done. We've done the substructure and the closed cell foam between the gaps, and we've done the arches with closed cell foam. Next step is to put some fleece in those little squares and put the ply down.
Ticking stick will stake the vampire.
fits quite nice. And we've got half of our overlap on this pattern so we don't get the edges of the boards creaking and sagging. First and most awkward board. Done. Some things just work out. Just so happens by complete fluke that the width of that wool is the width of the ladders that we've just done. Nice! Weekend's work, that's the first panel screwed down. Just got to put some wool in and do these last two. We've got our skylight in, got our floor, well on the way to being built. Happy days.